Hello, this is Captain Poodle speaking. Are you ready to find love?
Yes, ahoy, matey.
Love. Exciting and new. Go online. They're catfishing you.
Shocker.
Fiancé.
Soon you'll be flying to parts unknown.
90-day fiancé.
Marrying someone you only met on your phone.
Be they French or Chinese, a brand new K1 visa's the key.
Ooh, the key to what, Poodle?
To love.
It's reality gaze. Let's love.
Okay. How do you know you're a bitch? I'll tell you how you know. When you walk into the tell-all wearing the dress you were going to wear to a wedding that you didn't go to. That is bitch with a capital B.
It's pretty bitchy. It's pretty bitchy.
What did you think about her on this?
She looked real pretty. The dress was pretty.
It is, but like to wear the dress, to make a point of wearing that dress and saying, this is what I could have worn if I went to your wedding, if you hadn't been so awful to me.
I think I really went hard on her, and I still am not a fan. But
I understand her now, though.
But I understand her now, and
me too.
I think I said this on another. I think I was talking about either Ultimatum or another show we're talking about, and I really see clearly that Gabe is a self-sabotager.
Yeah,
clearly
he is. I'm not saying that I think both these people give just as much as the other. And he was actually gaslighting her and making her sound crazy and saying that he didn't say that she was the reason for all of his breakups.
He said that in his talking head this season. So I'm pretty sure he probably said it to her face.
No, but I'm just saying. But wearing the dress that you were going to wear to their wedding,
no, that is just.
I kind of went. Whoa.
I'm prepared for that. It is.
This is
a baller.
Part 3 of the tell-all of this is part 3 of the tell-all for season 4, and I was whelmed.
It was. You know what? Thank God for Veronica and Tim.
Right?
They added the life to this tell-all.
I don't know. I think these people were so tired after their seasons.
Yes.
Everyone had rough seasons.
Rough. And you've seen the news, right?
Yes, the big news is Miss Mood was photographed or was taken video. Some intrepid sissy took a thing of Nicole awkwardly waiting for Miss Mood at LAX.
She's a redhead now.
She's
y'all.
a redhead, which I think looks better on her.
Mm-hmm.
And she ran across to him in these loud, horrible flats to see him, and of course attacked him. Goes, "Oh, Miss Mood, I'm so glad you're in Los Angeles. Do you like what I'm wearing?"
They're gonna. Yeah, she's just in a bikini.
Yeah. So
pasties.
y'all, Miss Mood is in the building.
What if we saw her around LA?
Her licorice wrists are flicking around.
Because Nicole kind of walks in our, or at least before when she was delivering food, she was driving in our neighborhood.
I hope
What if she is my Uber Eats driver? Oh my God!
And Mahmoud is just waving from the car. Ready to lip sync for her life.
I will invite them in.
That would be creepy.
I wouldn't care.
Anyway.
And I would say, I'm Maddie with Reality Gaze. And they're like, not familiar.
Never heard of you.
Never heard of you.
So they are in the area. I want to tell LA and LA area sissies, keep your eyes peeled.
Keep your eyes peeled. Let us
I don't
know.
stake out a mosque. Do whatever you need to do.
Don't interfere with other people's lives. I just want to say that it
Well,
sounds.
I wasn't meaning that.
Well, the way
I did
you were
say stake out a
yeah,
mosque.
the way you were, yeah. So I'm not gonna.
Don't do that.
Yeah,
just
if
sit
you-
outside a mosque and wait till you see if he walks out.
If you're watching the intimate portrait, you just saw my face go lawsuit, lawsuit, lawsuit.
It's gonna happen one day. Get ready.
One day.
Just start preparing yourself.
One day. Hey, we didn't talk about this, but I just thought about it.
Great. I love things surprised on
Y'all,
there.
welcome to Max. It's now Max.
Max.
The rollout of HBO and Discovery
Went very well.
Went so spectacularly.
About as well as the
Love
Twitter
it.
announcement of Ron DeSantis' campaign.
Oh, what happened with that? I saw a blurb, but I didn't read it.
How did you not? No, it was shut down. Like Twitter, they couldn't do anything for like 20 or 30 minutes.
Oh, that's amazing. Amazing. What a piece of shit. And
Gay people. Gay people
just went, no. But what's great now is you actually, as your avatar picture, you can choose cast members from 90 Day Fiancé. Like I could choose Kenny. And someone
Could I get Evelyn?
You probably could. Someone said for their husband they chose Caesar. So it's just Caesar. But you could get
Caesar's
Kenny.
just dumb face of just staring.
You can get all these people.
I want Nicole. I want Nicole from Nicole and Asin. I want Nicole.
Oh, you want Nicole.
Her face going.
I hope that she's or kind of sideways, like it's
Yeah.
falling, like it's been thinking.
Or maybe.
Who would I pick from 90 Day Fiancé? I'd pick Darce.
Yeah.
For sure, I'd pick Darcy. 100%.
I want Nicole
100%.
to be staring at me back.
No, because Darcy will help me manifest.
Yeah, I would.
It's weird. Discovery Plus, at least last time I checked, when we're recording this on Thursday before this airs, but Discovery, HBO Max is gone, but Discovery Plus is still up.
Yes, it isn't.
But I
it is
believe
its own
it's
thing.
going away, or is it staying up?
I think it's staying.
So HBO Max just has everything on
Yes.
Discovery Plus.
Yes.
Well, why would I want? They're trying to double dip. We're canceling that Discovery Plus.
Well, I'll tell you why.
We're not using it.
I'll tell you why.
Don't you give a look, buddy.
No. I'll tell you why. Because they're two different markets. Also, Max is more expensive. So you can have Discovery Plus and have all of that stuff. You just don't want all the premium stuff. So that's why it's staying. If you think about it a little bit, it makes perfect sense. They're different
I just want to
markets.
know, what are we doing to save more money?
We can definitely cancel Discovery
Do
Plus.
we cancel one to save? I don't know.
But do you understand why I?
No,
why
I
just explained
understand it,
that?
but I don't
Yeah.
care. I'm just thinking about my money.
Okay. I was thinking about a more reasonable way to explain
Please.
it. But that's why I'm saying that's why Discovery Plus is.
So you
staying.
wanted to give them more of your money?
I don't want to give them a cent if I don't have to. But I'm I'm explaining to you.
You need to think
in
like
the
Father
most-
Poodle.
in the easiest possible way. By the way, I had a dream last night.
Oh, no.
And I don't know why. I think it's because I was talking to my mother yesterday.
I like your blue socks.
And thank
Those are
you.
pretty.
Thank you. In my dream, for some reason, my mother called me and said, "God, Jaybird, Father Poodle's decided he's going to get married again. He's taking a second wife." And she went, and she's in Kenya or somewhere. And I said, "Wait," she's like, "And he did it all himself." She's like, "I was surprised."
Not upset that he's married to another woman.
It was
more that he just got it done.
He did it. He asked someone to do it on a computer. And
Wow.
And I pictured her saying, so Father Poodle may be on 90 Day Fiancé.
That would be
in
great.
my head, and my mother said, "It's fine. Me and Muffet will just be here. Maybe we'll get married."
Only 1/6 round. Wow. That's funny and also disturbing.
It was such a weird dream about my mother, and my father was never in it. It was just my mother telling me about my father who got married to a woman in Kenya.
All of our psychotherapists are analyzing your dream now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Friend, which way is Nairobi?
Which is Nairobi?
Fran, do you know how many preservatives that piece of that corn bar has in it?
And you talked to is Muffin being let out of the crate yet?
It's a little better now. She can go out a couple of times, but she still has to stay in there most of the time because of the healing. Yeah, it's bad. It's really
But
bad.
is it also good because your mother now is completely devoted to the dog's health and like, does it give her something to focus on, or does she just talk about the dog for 35 minutes?
It's mostly the dog, so it's still difficult. Yeah. Anyway,
Boy, Muffin took hold of that heart, didn't she?
it's really been bad. Yo, we need to just talk about this because it just happened yesterday. Tina Turner has passed off this mortal coil.
Rest in music.
And we have multiple
Rim.
times.
Rest in music. That's
I
not gonna
don't
work.
like that.
I don't like it either.
Don't sully the name of Tina Turner
I am
as
not.
I'm talking about her. So, we have ended multiple times. We've ended our shows with a Tina Turner song or referenced them. Not recently, so no one come for
recently.
us.
I think I've told the story before about the first thing I thought of is driving around on that 3-wheeler behind our house, the same lot that I threw my mom Liz Claiborne shoes in. But that
And singing
one,
"What's Love Got to
and
Do with
singing
It?"
and singing "What's Love Got to Do?"
And your
got to
your
do
brother
with
said, "Can you sing a guy's song?"
No, he just said, "Can you not sing?" Can you just not sing? I was like, "Yeah," and I would just drive around and sing.
And then he would go, "What's love?"
Yeah, I just sang louder. That's honestly what I do because I love
little
the noise.
brat.
But I just
What a
drove
little
all
brat.
around. Our neighbor Debbie Jackson said, "I saw her just the other day." She said, "She's like, you always had such a pretty voice. I remember you riding on that 3-wheeler singing Tina Turner. I thought it was her one time."
Wait.
She thought because it was
Why
so good.
would
It sounded
Tina
like the
Turner
radio.
be in Lone Grove,
Well, no,
Oklahoma?
She thought it was on the radio in her house.
I see. That's a weird story.
I thought it was sweet. Anyway, so I remember being just wishing I could have like Tina Turner's legs and heels. I'm sad I didn't go to that Simply the Best tour.
Yeah.
Because that's when Oprah wore that wig for way too long.
Oh,
Even Oprah says, Gail was like, "Oprah, you got to take off the wig. It's done." But that got me into Tina Turner a lot too.
Yeah.
Do you have any personal memories of her?
I never met her.
Well, I know.
I think I remember listening on Saturday Night Live did something where we're going to take it nice and rough, and that someone imitated her. And I was like, no, that's not Molly Shannon.
Superstar. She did a thing with her. I watched that. But you're right. There was something else from Saturday Night Live where they were singing with someone and doing the whole nice and rough thing. But maybe,
Y'all, if you're only hearing the audio, he just sniffed his armpits.
oh, like Molly Shannon.
yeah, you
'Cause
couldn't. I was like, use your words. All of a sudden, it was charades.
There was a because there was a clip. Molly Shannon posted it about.
Yeah.
But you're right. I wonder what that was.
This is frustrating. So let's
Yeah,
move on.
that's where we are.
But I remember going back and looking at that and going, wow, this is unreal that someone was kind of had this much energy, and then it felt manic, but it also intrigued me.
Yeah.
And
Even in that Molly Shannon, I was watching it, and she kind of plays calm and cool. And then at the end when they sing, it's just like this firework of energy that just ignites right
Yeah.
there. It's in a second. And I thought the same thing, just, whoa, you could feel it.
I remember the first time I kind of knew personally who she was Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome.
Oh.
We don't need another hero.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Don't love the last bit of harmony you put on that.
It's good.
We'll edit that out.
It's good. But no, I never actually saw that at first, Mad Max.
The first one? The first is a better movie.
I saw the one with, what's her name? The
Charlize
monster
Theron?
woman. Yes. Mm-hmm.
That's actually a fantastic film.
The second one?
No, the
original. Oh.
No, Fury Road.
I loved that film. It was
That's
great.
a great movie. You just can't remember the name or anyone in it.
No, what's his name's in it? Who they think used to be a gay twink. with this
Tom Hardy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, y'all. Tom Hardy.
You still don't know
both.
any of their names.
Yeah, you know. Anyway,
so we send out our love.
we salute you, Tina.
Our love. Rest
truly,
in power.
truly an icon.
Simply the best.
It's true.
Simply the best.
No one else has said it. You're the first to eulogize her with that.
Someone had to be.
Yeah.
Someone had to be.
Well, you know, I do think Piano Cat 77 would say Private Dancer was a very big influence for him.
Yeah. Also,
You
it's
quote
like,
that song a lot.
I remember also when I got into some of the Tina Turner stuff and the older stuff when she was with Ike, I used to sing the song Nutbush City Limits all the time.
Oh, I don't know that song.
Nutbush, oh, Nutbush City Limits. It's a great song.
I'm going to listen to some old Tina Turner.
Nutbush City Limits.
Not right now, because right now I'm prepping for my Shania. I'm excited.
Oh, right.
Oh,
You're
y'all
going-
listen to this.
you're going on
I'm
Sunday.
doing Shania Twain at the bowl. So too late if you I was there. You
Hopefully
already missed
she's
me.
got extra security.
Probably. I'm excited.
That's why I won't go with you. It's
No,
embarrassing. It's
I know.
extremely embarrassing.
I don't invite anybody with me to Shania Twain because I know
You're a-
I don't want to dim my. I don't want anyone to yuck my yum, and that's okay. And that, you know what I would say. And there's nothing wrong
You
with
know.
that. If it's not someone else's bag, it's my bag. And sometimes I can just hold my
I think
bag
that's
by
great.
itself.
I
I don't want to go to some fucking film Jake wants to see called like Danse la Giga where you sob for 4 hours and then
Yeah, I
they
won't
take
invite
a
you.
5-minute break and then the rest of the film is another 4 hours and then at the end they just light your car on fire and watch you scream in agony. And
That sounds like heaven.
that sounds like a movie Jake would love. I don't want to see that.
I agree, but because if I invited you, you'd talk through the whole thing.
I would not.
Yes.
I might ask some questions.
Yeah, you have a really bad habit.
What'd they just say?
Of asking questions.
You were
and talking.
just as bad at talking to movies though.
I don't think so.
100,
I disagree.
100% lying.
No.
Okay, raise your hand if someone has commented on you to hush in a movie theater.
Well, I was,
Raise your
to
hand.
be fair, I was a little tipsy. And
Which time? This happened to me twice with you when we've gone to the movie.
We were watching a joke film.
Once you got trouble. Once when we saw that terrible Sex in the City when they go to Dubai.
Yes. And I don't know why.
But then there was another movie that was a serious movie, and I forgot you were excited about it. And someone else shushed you in that movie as well.
I was talking at the very beginning, and you couldn't hear me.
I don't blame you for the Sex and the City. That one I got up and went and threw up, and then had another martini. I was so drunk.
That's one of the worst movies I've ever
It's
seen.
one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
And I'd never seen the first one.
Yeah.
But I went,
Where are we?
Ultimatum Queer Love.
Ooh.
Queer Love.
God, y'all. It is
Queer Love.
good. I love it.
It is, the first 4 episodes have dropped on Netflix. Our first 4 are also up.
Yep.
We will be dropping, hopefully, if we can get early access, we can promise, I don't know. We haven't gotten them yet. So the next batch, we will hopefully try to get as many up as possible.
If we don't get them. It's going to fuck us over.
I know.
Y'all, Poodle worked so hard on making that schedule on Dinah List. He works with he
live
and Mary
and die.
I get
by
texts and I always
scheduling.
rolls my he and Mary Payne just text each other about scheduling and when they both obsess over it and they kind of feed into each other.
Yeah, I need to know.
I don't think it's healthy. But anyway.
What's your favorite moment so far? Or your most gag-worthy moment?
This season or in my life?
Of Ultimatum Queer Love. I don't give a shit about your life.
Oh, Ultimatum Queer Love. I mean, it's kind of hard to pick because Vanessa keeps on being more of an asshole.
I agree.
on-
It's hard to choose.
What, do you have one moment? Let's be honest. We're both going to talk. We're both going to pick something about Vanessa. What's your most?
I was going to say my favorite non-Vanessa moment
Okay.
is when Tiff says, I just want you to act like you give a shit about my dog.
Yeah, it was pretty.
Is that too hard to ask? My dog is my baby, and I've known you for 2 weeks.
I've known you for 2 weeks.
Maybe
Yeah.
even that.
My most gag worthy was not necessarily something funny, but something that maybe just questioned everything I've known was watching Xander hit on Yoli and me being extremely turned on.
Yeah, those two make me want to touch myself.
Oh, yes.
When I think about you, I touch myself.
I feel like that's a very lesbian song too.
No, it's. I think it's for anyone. I think you think songs when women sing about sensuality are lesbian.
Maybe that's true. And I should analyze
Because women are so far removed for you for sensuality.
They're not talking about a man. Why would they want to be with a man? That's just for men.
I also think if
It's
we were
really-
talking about Vanessa, I think I have to bring up when everyone is like, and I've grown from living with Sam. I've grown from this, or living with Yoli. I've said this, and Vanessa just goes, and I got my nipples pierced.
Oh, y'all, she's just.
She's a fucking nightmare.
She's a nightmare, and she's wonderful reality TV.
And I will say,
it's kind of like Lita. She's so horrible, but you love watching it, but you feel bad for everybody that's having to experience it.
when you look at the list, it's one of those people who you can refer to people as narcissists, but when you can actually check the boxes off as you watch her, it's something.
Yeah, it's something.
I feel sorry for whoever she's with. I really do.
Hopefully, it's
in
not
this life.
Xander still.
Yeah. My ex-boyfriend would have wanted to marry me. He wanted to marry me. You know, I could have married him. People just don't ask a lot of me. We need to move on.
We need to move on.
It's worth it.
Anyway, y'all, check it out. It's on the $5 here. Hey, we're going to say something really quickly, and we're going to try to keep this updated. But y'all, this is a little bit of a bitch fest on my part. Apple subscriptions is not fully up yet. And I only say this because the way Apple works is basically I filled out all the initial information, and now our subscription is live.
And they keep asking us for more information.
But they actually, we have to do all this back-end stuff of uploading back catalog, art. So
it's annoying
they did
as
it backwards.
fuck.
They should have let us do all of this before the beginning and then press a button to go live. It's not that way. So now it's up. You can get it. And you can get a lot of content already, but like
not everything.
Ultimatum was a bit late. We're trying. It's honestly, it's not a quick, easy thing for us to just simply upload it. It's a bigger hassle thing. So we're still, hopefully that's all going to be fixed by June 1st. It's not us. I feel like we say that all the time because sometimes it is, but it really isn't us in this case. So that's why we're not announcing this as a thing, but it is up. If you look on your Apple app, it'll show it. You can buy it, but just know right now you might not get some stuff if you're on Patreon and Supercash. You might not be getting that as immediate.
When do we start getting paid for that?
Should be now, I guess. Let's talk about this in front of everyone.
I won't have that slander.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Let's get into this.
Let's do this.
We did talk a lot about announcements but there is a lot going on, especially Queer Love and Tina Turner.
Just fast forward it.
But I just want to say this part of the tell-all was when we didn't get a ton of info. And this is what we did hear from the mouth of Debbie, because Debbie can't keep her mouth shut on social media. Debbie said that the production told them to take it easy on Kris because she was in a fragile mental state.
I think someone asked, did they encourage you to go harder?
Yeah.
Like with Gabe. And she said, no, actually, they told us to take it easy on Kris.
Yeah. Which I believe, because she seemed like she was barely holding it together. However,
But that's also what Kris wants.
Exactly.
Yeah. Kris. So was she barely holding together, or was she just being a martyr?
I think Kris also would be one of those people who would walk off the set every single time something would happen.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't think, for those of you who are wanting a complete repudiation of Kris and we're trying to get all the info and receipts and how she was, how Kris lied, which she almost certainly did.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you're ever going to get that. Just know that this is someone who is going to deny everything, and she will never take responsibility for anything.
No, never.
You're never going to get her to admit she was wrong. You're really going to never get her publicly proven wrong in that way.
No, she won't do
because she'll
it.
come up with an excuse for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's jump in with Kris and Jeymi. I think there is a lot of why I said that is I think there's a lot of anger and hatred towards Kris online, and I understand it. I understand why, because they think she's fake and they think she's a liar, and that she led Jeymi on, and I think that's all.
True.
But the internet and a lot of culture demands retribution, and they demand people to apologize or to be humiliated.
Yeah.
None of those things are going to happen.
I don't hate her. I feel sorry for her.
Me too.
Actually, because she's.
I do not like her, though.
I know I don't like her, but I feel sorry for her because I think she's an addict. So,
Agree.
Or it's struggling with that. So we do find out that. So again, they're talking about this guy that Jeymi dated, and thank God for Veronica, because Veronica just jumps in and says, "Well, Tim said somebody's lying." The story didn't.
Somebody's lying.
And Veronica said, "I'm Team Jeymi. If someone disappeared on me, I'm considering myself single. How long am I supposed to wait?" And that made me wonder, Poodle, for the men that you said, I mean, how many men do you think you've told the phrase, "I'll be right back" to? and then no, dozens at least.
You mean in a gay bar?
No, I mean like even in their bed or in their living room.
Sometimes I'll just go out for a soda.
How long do you expect for them to wait? And if you come back into their house or whatever, when is enough time passed where they consider themselves single?
I never tell them to wait.
Okay.
I never tell them to wait. They just do.
So if you leave, then you expect that they can go be with someone else.
No.
Oh, okay. So how long do they?
You know what? They never do. I don't tell them anything.
So how long would you? What would be a good enough time for them to wait until they can move on? 2 months, 6 months, a week, 3 days?
I don't know if it's a matter of time. I think it's a matter of them getting over me. And whenever maybe it takes 6 months, maybe it takes a year, maybe 2 years, maybe a decade. And then when they finally can pick themselves up and decide that there's there's life out there, like Reba once said.
Yes.
Then they can move on. But
it's funny you said that because I think I saw your stack of mail and it looked like there was a letter from a prison.
Yeah.
Thought he was done with you.
They just keep pulling me back in. I do pull him back in.
Yeah.
Come over here.
If you're watching Intimate Portrait, you're sitting right here and you just got grossed out by that. Sorry.
What happened to your arm?
What? What happened?
It's like a scar.
Oh, yeah, I have a scar on my elbow.
For doing what? Something girly?
No, I never told you that story.
No, and I
was riding my bicycle.
I don't want it.
I was riding my bicycle with my best friend, Sean Farrell, who's still my friend, who we found out, ironically enough, he's the one that at my dad's funeral, we were burying my dad next to my cousin, who, trigger warning, baby loss. But my mom lost a baby before my brother and I were born, and the little baby Charles is buried beside my dad. And my best friend Sean looked at me and said, "Well, Matt, I guess we're meant to be brothers." And they were born on the same day, a year apart. And I went, "Oh my God." And I think my best friend is my brother reincarnated. That's what I think. But anyway, this isn't about that.
Please.
This is about Sean and I were riding bicycles and we were riding down to Dell's
My head
Market.
hurts.
You asked. We're riding down
know.
to Dell's Market. And because we wanted to get a candy bar and a Dr. Pepper. And so loved the baby Ruth at the time. And so we're going to, and the way Dell's Market is, it used to be an old creek that they kind of converted into a dirt road that dried up, which didn't really work because every time it rained a lot, it just kind of washed out. Anyway, so we're driving down the hill and I was on my mountain bike. I had just gotten it for Christmas. I was very excited. It was like a big bike. And riding down, and I just didn't know how fast that sucker could go. And I hit a big old rock, and I just went flying like a Von Erich over another wrestler or something. Just woo! So I fell on the ground. I ended up scabbing my knee up, got that up, and then even it just tore a whole circle, an actual. If you look, it's a circle. It tore out of my arm on both sides. Had gravel all in it and everything. I rode my bicycle back to Sean Farrell's house. I rode the bicycle back. His mom, Brenda, took me in the bathroom and was patching up. I almost fainted. First and only time I ever almost fainted.
So it was girly.
And then, I was like, oh, but I was doing fine and didn't cry or anything like that. I was in like 7th grade. And then my mom picked me up and took me to the ER and they stitched me up. Stitches. I got a butterfly stitch on my knee.
You need to make that next time you tell that story, it needs to have a bigger punch at the end.
Well, you just asked. That was it.
Yeah.
Well, the big punchline is
I regret
Sean's my reincarnated brother.
Okay, great. Moving on. Chris's mother, Mona.
Oh, Mona.
Mona.
I feel like we know so many Monas.
I know a lot of Monas.
And you know what I mean? Monas, these women, not usually, it's a lot of times women that have to go around and no matter what, and I admire her for it, they're dedicated to their children.
Yep.
And no matter what, they're going to support their child and defend them. Is it enabling?
Yes.
Yes. It's not. So.
But they have to do it.
But I understand why they have to do it.
I feel like, by the way, y'all, Kris has been online saying, I am not an addict. I know people. Who do you think stolen all these things from me? People who are addicts. I would never be that. And, but I wonder if,
why would you associate yourself and be around a bunch of people that are struggling in addiction?
I think that's the culture she lives in.
Well, that's true as well.
Yeah, but I'm saying she has vociferously denied that.
She has.
I don't necessarily believe it. I think at the very least it's pills.
Yeah.
Like pain meds, opioids.
Well, I didn't think you were talking about Tylenol.
Aleve. She's an Aleve addict.
When someone says pills and they go, yeah, Altoids.
Opioids.
Yeah, Tums. She's a Tums addict. Loves that calcium. Like, come on.
Melatonin.
Yeah. That's a prescription in the UK.
Really?
Yes.
Huh.
If you fly internationally, bring your melatonin. You won't be able to get it.
You can get everything in Mexico, though.
Well, that's
I've heard.
You've heard.
So, Mona basically comes on, and we find out that Mona was sending Jeymi money via her PayPal. Because Kris goes, because I don't have PayPal.
My bank account was canceled.
Bank account because someone stole my identity.
They thought it was identity fraud. Turned out it wasn't identity. It was my cousin Jerry. He just needed to use. He just got the spelling wrong on the bank. But down there at Alabama Shakes Bank, they'll cancel you the first tip you get.
When all of her stories tend to sound like yours.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
They all have. So we do find out that. Mona says, I think Kris loved the idea of Jeymi. I 100% agree with that.
I agree.
And also, Jeymi has receipts that they only sent $1,740.
Mona says it was like $10,000 because Mona said she was using her account.
Right.
And Jeymi said that because, Jeymi originally said, this is all she sent me. I have it. Well, then Jeymi pulls out her PayPal and we see that Mona did send her. It was like $700 or something like that. I do think as far as this is jumping to forward, but honestly, I think Tim called it and said, speaking from experience, someone like that doesn't hang around for only $1,400.
I agree.
I totally agree with that. So I think Jeymi is lying too.
Yeah. And at this point, I don't even know if it's worth litigating because there's so many things that haven't been brought up with this story. Obviously, Kris isn't going to tell us anything that's not flattering for her. Jeymi's not going to tell anything that's not flattering for them. It may come out in something else later on.
Jeymi's going to wear something unflattering.
Yeah, Kris almost had her beat with whatever she wore. Yeah. But this is a real sad event for this to be kind of this is kind of the first lesbian relationship or the first female same-sex relationship that may have been successful.
Oh, I was going to say, no, we had other, but that last part may have been successful.
And it's also a failure.
Because technically they got married.
Yeah.
So, Erica and
Stephanie
never
fart
did.
jar.
God, what a fucking joke of a relationship. Is that the only two female lesbian relationships we've had?
Well, Love in Paradise.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Love in Paradise.
But you still think it was mother and daughter.
I do think
Abby
they
and
were.
Gabby.
I do think they were scamming.
No, I am not her mother.
No,
I am a spirit of the sea.
Best. I do think the best part of the tell-all, they're fighting back and forth, and Sean Robin says, Usama, do you understand? What do you think?
I tried to understand, but I understand nothing.
And everyone laughs because that's basically where we all are. This doesn't make sense to anyone, especially to the poets.
No. I still did scream when Kris said, that I no longer have that bank account because someone stole my identity. There's always something.
There's always something.
Well,
and Kris, Kris does remind me, she reminds me a lot of like, she reminds me honestly a lot of like, Kris gives me early Grandma Hazel vibes where,
wow.
No one does anything for you out of the place of goodness from their heart. There's always an angle.
Yeah.
They always want something from you.
Well,
because even when Jeymi said, I'm worried about your mental health, Kris goes, and there you go. Had to be disrespectful again. Had to be shocker.
It is Grandma Hazel vibes.
Maybe she's being passive aggressive, but maybe she's just saying that.
What I hope is that the best thing could happen for Kris. First of all, the best thing to happen for Jeymi is she dates someone. Hopefully it's not in a strangely, extremely codependent way that seems like this relationship was.
I don't think Jeymi's gonna.
And I hope Kris can maybe go to rehab one day and work on that. Because y'all, I will say, even if she's not actively in the throes of addiction now, it is like every addict I've ever known.
The behavior feels like it, yeah.
Yeah.
Moving
on.
Yes.
Nicole and Miss Mood.
Miss Mood, our fellow Angelinos.
No.
Oh, God.
Now I'm going to see them.
Maybe they'll come to our show in the fall when we do a show in Los Angeles.
They will not.
But wouldn't you like Miss Mood to come? Because we would offend the fuck out of him. That'd be great. He'd storm out in the middle, and Nicole would run after him going, no, and I would tell someone, film that for TLC. Sissy, get your cameras out.
I think I would make fun more of her. I would bring out, if I knew she was there, I would bring out, I'm like, I'll get your body double, just like a broomstick with a bob.
Wow.
So we have the same personality.
Yeah, and y'all wonder why no one ever comes to our live shows.
I'm keeping it real. Sharp won't let him.
They won't let him, no.
So we see Ahmed come out. And again, this is not a ton of information here because you've already decided these two men are not going to say anything on television that makes them look bad.
No.
And
you know what? Before we get into them, we should take
let's take a break. We're back.
I haven't sat down yet. Not even ready yet. Here. I'll sit closer to you.
Get away from me.
Ow.
Get away from me.
Fine.
I will kick you.
I just want to be loving.
And I will make it hurt.
I just want to be loving.
No, when your skin touches mine, it burns like acid.
Well, no, that's because you're fucking sunburned still and peeling.
It's only a little.
There's flakes of you everywhere.
So, before we go back into Nicole and Mahmoud, I want to say that on the second show, I'll be doing a brief minute, 2 minutes about
10.
the Vanderpump Rules reunion, part 1.
Oh, turn on timey, please.
Oh, thank you. Just talking about it a little bit. Some of the things that I took away that Yeah, it's all super shocking, period. But some of the theories that I've been having, because Tinfoil Hattie is on the scene.
Are they doing a 3-part?
Yeah,
Wow.
it's nuts.
You know Andy Cohen's loving this.
Oh, he's just like watching the footage, the dailies, and just jerking off.
So would I if I was a producer.
Fuck. So y'all,
Oh, we forgot about another announcement that's coming up, y'all. We're gonna be doing a little special with Kim and Kyle.
I thought you put that on the
the
announcements.
cray. No, I just told you. I thought you were writing it on the announcement.
No,
I did. It's not your fault. We didn't communicate it. But we're gonna be we're calling it 90-day coffee date.
Coffee date.
See, I said it right.
Thank you.
Sometimes I listen to you.
We'll
Not
be
really, but-
doing like when we do 90-day podcasts. We
with our other 90
with
dayers,
friends,
with our other 90
just having a
dayers.
coffee date with friends.
Coffee date. We're going to talk about the season. We're going to talk a little bit about B90 coming
B90,
up.
the season of Toe, and also a little bit about Kyle is watching Me, You, and My Ex, so he needed to talk
He
about
emailed
it.
me and he was like, I need to talk about this with someone. And I'm like, oh, you can talk about it.
You
with
do
us.
start having. It is like the show is actively gaslighting you because you do start thinking, "Am I the only one who sees this?" Because they're acting like it's normal.
Yeah.
Roy.
Roy.
Roy, I miss Roy. I miss Roy.
I miss Roy. We're still working out the details of that. I will
She annoys the
let you
shit
know,
out of me.
but she's good TV.
Yeah. God, I can't figure her face out either. I can't figure out what she had done.
We need to move on.
Okay.
We need to move on.
So basically, Nicole basically says, I took things personal that I shouldn't have, but now look what I'm wearing. Things are better. And of course, Daniel's like, it's the same in my relationship, really.
Yeah.
What's interesting about this tell-all, and I'm going to talk about this on the second show when we mostly talk about Danielle, she inserts herself only in places to make herself look good.
100%.
And when the light of truth is cast upon her, she says very little. Because she knows the more that she says, what she has figured out that not any of these assholes figured out is the more you say, the more you incriminate yourself. And I hate it that she had a really good showing.
Poodle learned that the hard way.
Yeah,
Same for me, honestly.
yeah. But boy, I was like, oh God, you're gonna get a good edit. I hate you.
Would you always, when your mother would try to lie to your mom and she would start to catch you, would you always try to explain it and then you just put yourself in the same?
I was never a good liar to my mom.
You're still not a good liar.
I know, I'm not.
You're not. That's probably a good quality to have.
I lie with my body.
That's true. That's true.
So
That ass can lie and lie and lie and lie again, y'all.
So they bring up the chatting that Mahmoud was doing with the woman in China with the TVs, and the men start laughing. And
the men meaning Mahmoud
and Ahmed.
Yeah. And everybody is going, why are they laughing? Danielle's really bothered by it.
Yeah. I kind of understand it because I think the idea of anything sexual that is improprietary or not doesn't have proprietor, I can't speak, isn't proper, makes them laugh like little boys.
I mean,
that's what I took
Nicole
from it.
says, oh, even his family was something, his whole family, they would laugh. They would say they said it's a cultural thing.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I think when she does bring up something, and there might have been some truth in it. I don't care about them enough to think about it. But Nicole's obviously forgiven him for whatever it is, and they've moved on. That's when I think a lot of things were retreads from this season, and that everyone was trying to weigh in on it, but no one really. We don't have all the facts.
That's a good point. We don't. I will say.
We've got like 60% of the info on every issue.
And I was going to say for everyone, for the most part. There's not, it goes back to, do we think this tell-all accomplished its goals of a tell-all? Did we get new information and were things resolved?
No.
Gabe and Monica resolved, and we'll talk about that, in a
It's-
very dysfunctional way.
They're going to be fighting next month.
Yeah. But there wasn't any... Jen and Rishi just got worse. It just got worse.
Though? What we're going to talk about that phone call probably on the next show.
Yeah. Save it.
Yeah, you're right. I'll save it.
What? Gary, roll that footage back.
No, I said when you're right, I'll say you're right. It happens once, like a blue moon.
Don't say it. I feel like even when you say it, it makes my body tense up, like something's about to fall on me. I'm very scared. The big one's about to come.
Now, and basically, who is it? I think
I will say he looks like he's lying to me when he was talking. I wrote the way he looks. I don't trust him. I do feel like
Miss Mood.
when he's like, it was nothing.
Oh,
We're
I
just
agree.
talking. I think he's 100% lying.
There's just something I can't get enough stakes out of them because I feel like they're so dysfunctional. It wouldn't matter if he cheated or if she cheated. Both of them are trying to follow this through for different reasons.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Then we talk a little bit about clothes.
Isabel said that Mahmoud has everything in a man that she would never want.
I bet, because I guarantee you, y'all, Isabel's had some real controlling men
Oh, yeah.
in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Gabe tells Nicole, my advice is to get a divorce. You can find someone who has the same values as you. No lies detected.
Yeah. And then Nicole basically says later on, I don't care what I wear, what people say about what I wear. I'm going to do that. I think she will. I think away from his family, she's being so smart about this. She's going to get him away from his family, away from his support system, away from. And we do have more Orthodox Islam mosques in Los Angeles. There are, but without that family, I think she's going to get him to move. I think she's going to be able to wear
realized
what
one
the fuck.
reason why you hate Nicole so much.
We have a lot in common.
You're a little jealous of it.
I am a little.
Because she did it.
She did it.
She
but
moved the mountain.
What I
And you just sat on it.
if I can't sell it, I'm gonna sit on it. Weirdly, you just made an Islamic pun, and you don't know it because
Really?
Muhammad brought the mountain.
I knew that.
Boy, even a blind squirrel. You just made your first Islam reference.
Oh, I hope I'm not on a list now. Oh, God.
You're fine. I've said so much worse.
Okay, all right.
I've said so
They'll
much
get you
worse.
first?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I made a thing about getting fucked.
Don't bring it up.
But it was always toward Mecca. It's awful.
Can we continue?
We can. But I think but I'm going to say this. I think she's going to get her wish. I think it'll take a couple of years. However, there's going to be another thing that she's going to want to change about him and going to resent about him. And so it's going to be a consistent loop. She's smart to get someone who is trained very, very, very conservatively, because then they will respond to someone who's their authority figure. And in a weird way, she's the authority figure, even though she's going to be technically submissive to him. Mm-hmm. Oh, she's crazy like a fox. Because you know why? She's a survivor. And she has gotten this far on learning how to survive in a situation and learning how to outsmart the person who is her adversary.
And you hate her for it.
A little bit. But what I'm saying is what I don't like about her is the victim mentality, and which I thought the whole season was a lie. And I think she showed her true colors very late. And I think that she's there for for him to do what she wants.
Yeah, Kris said what a lot of people say. Kris said what we're worried about is, and it's interesting how Ahmed didn't really get stoked or fired up when Gabe said something to him, but as soon as a woman started critiquing, you saw Ahmed get pissed because Kris basically said, he acts very different when you're not. Mahmoud acts very different when you're not around, and that's what we're all worried about. Is how is he going to react?
You mean the brother?
When you're not around. But I agree with you. At first, I think that he'll be more compliant.
Get him away from his family. Get him out of Cairo. Get him in a very unfamiliar place. You will have him. He will roll over, and he'll let you rub his belly. Mark my words.
I wonder what he's going to do for work over here.
I don't know.
I don't know if he has a degree or anything like that, or
I don't know
what skill he has, because he works at his family shop.
We have
right?
a big Islamic community here.
Yeah, I'm sure someone will give him a job.
Yeah.
That's true.
Big Muslim community. So
You speak about that like from experience. Maybe someone has gotten fucked towards Mecca.
There's a prayer rug in the closet.
All right.
Gabe and Isabel.
All right. We're gonna talk. We might stop.
Monica.
We might stop halfway. Just
Monica.
We've never done that. I'd like that.
No. We've done that way too many times.
You know what? I still wanted it. That's fine.
So, basically, we find out that through Monica coming out in the dress she was going to wear to the wedding, said Gabe told me that I was the reason why all of his past relationships have failed, and now we are currently estranged. And then Gabe came back and said, "I missed you. We send each other memes, and we really don't talk." So you're 8 years old. Because
that is a metaphor for how you communicate. So you actually don't communicate with real words and real feelings.
And later on, Sean brings up, Gabe, did you say to this? Did you blame her for everything that ever went wrong in your relationship? And you're exactly right. Earlier in the season, he said it. And then he basically says, "No, I'm just saying that she never found anything positive in those." And then she's like, "No, you said I was the common denominator when all these relationships failed." And he never really flat out denied. So I guarantee you there was that or some combination of that which made these two, they both go at each other and figure out what the most vulnerable thing to say, the thing that's going to hit the other in the gut, because it's the only way they can fight. Mm-hmm. And so I'm sure, and the next morning he's like, I don't know why she's acting this way. And she probably does the same thing or he probably does the same thing when she treats him like shit.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
This is awful. So anyway,
and Sean even said, couldn't you have pulled yourself together though to go to the wedding?
Oh, how could I?
Monica said, I was bawling for 2 hours straight. What am I supposed to do? Just go to a wedding crying? And I went, yeah, people just think you're happy. That's what my mother did at my brother's senior graduation. I thought she was crying because my brother was graduating. No, it's because my father told you I'm leaving you in 6 months. So she was sobbing.
Oh, my God.
Well, he wanted her to get ready and prepared. Then Mama Mar turned around 3 months later and said, I'm already prepared. Get the fuck out, and kicked him out.
I'm glad that you weren't your mother's support system during all this.
No, I didn't help my father pack at all.
Y'all don't do this to your kids. If you do get divorced, don't do this to your kids.
Well,
keep them out of it if you can. But I just want to further this. Monica says Gabe is sensitive, and I didn't even know what role I was doing in the wedding. I believe her. I think they went back and forth, and I believe it's a combination of Monica saying, but I want this. And Gabe's like, no, you can't do that because of Isabel. Because Gabe is actually afraid to talk to anything. He's so non-confrontational and so avoidant, he won't even talk to anything about Isabel that's going to maybe affect him negatively.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, Monica didn't know what she was going to be doing.
It's shocking that It was though kind of shocking though that Monica had no idea and Gabe admitted, yeah, I didn't really, and Isabel didn't, and then Gabe just said, Gabe didn't even take responsibility and say, yeah, I didn't tell her. He acted like a 12-year-old and said, well, yeah, I guess.
And then when they're starting to get into the heat of it,
Such children.
What I saw, and I gasped, but then I went, oh, of course it's going to end this way. He went over there and sat by her and hugged her and said, I'm sorry. And
I'm sorry. If I would have asked him, I would have said, like a child, Gabe, what are you sorry for? And I bet you he wouldn't have been able to answer it.
No, because that's what he does.
I know that because my mother would do that to me as a child.
And I would, and glad you've resolved that, and you're still not bringing it to your life.
No, it's good. It actually taught me to be like, because my mom would say, don't say sorry to someone unless you know what you're saying sorry for. She's like, if you're not sorry, then don't be sorry.
What if my mother told me that, I would say, I'm not sorry. I did it. I stole his ice cream, and I'm not sorry.
Did you say that to your mother once?
No, she would tell me to say I'm sorry, even if and I said, but I don't feel sorry.
No, my mother. It was a very sweet teaching lesson for me.
Maybe I had no ethics as a child.
Yeah, so maybe this is the mirror. This is the mirror.
You need to go act like you're sorry. Go. You say you're sorry for you hitting your cousin in the face.
Like my mother never made my brother and I hug when we were mad at each other like your mom made you.
No, you hug your brother and you tell him you love him. And you say you're sorry. Those were the worst moments of my childhood.
Do you think that's why you hate hugging?
I think there are a lot of reasons why I hate hugging. I think there are a lot of reasons. Ask my therapist. Anyway, that is basically, I think that's they kind of end it with, yep, we're okay now, we're fine. And I went, and this is how it always ends until the next thing.
Yes, because as Monica says, which is true, Gabe, again, you feel for Monica, and what happened the night before the wedding was not about the wedding at all. This is a build-up. Because we find out Monica actually likes Isabel. In fact, says, I love it. And I actually think she probably does really like her. And Isabel wasn't even mad at her. She was sad about it. But you feel like when Monica said, yeah, Gabe never communicates ever. And Gabe
needs therapy.
I think what this family does, we talked about this earlier, how, I think you brought it up in this way, where Gabe is used to his family always like rallying around him and helping
and fixing
support
things for him.
And fixing things for him. I think because we talked about that with the business, which they really dropped that.
Yeah, we dropped the whole business angle.
We're on business. But what also happens is the family also, Gabe doesn't ever talk or use his words or express his emotions because he's too scared that someone's going to push him away or not love him anymore or whatever those things are.
I'm sure if you grow up trans, you are already thinking no one's going to love me this way.
So probably Monica seems very articulate and likes to talk and is probably always trying to get him to talk. So then it becomes this cat and mouse game of her hounding him for information, him finally saying a little bit, and then when he finally says something, it hurts her so much.
She loses it.
And then he wants to shut up more. It's a very common dynamic. It is avoidant and, oh man, the word just popped out of my head.
I know it's
anxious and avoidant attachment, which happens over and over and over. I know because I've lived it. Yeah. Because I'm anxiously attached.
Anyway, no.
Yeah.
No.
You're not avoidant at all.
I did. Have you ever seen when Katya and Trixie do the thing and Trixie says something and Katya goes, no. Like that, and Trixie breaks. Yeah. Because I hate you. No. Or like that.
They're wonderful.
If you've never watched any of the Katya Trixie specials, I highly recommend their YouTube show. They're fantastic.
They're great.
Yeah. Anyway, that's the show.
Is it?
This show, we're going to talk about the Jen and Rishi call.
And the pretty crying of Rishi.
And the pretty, oh, fuck. And then, of course,
the tears of
miserable
Rishi.
bitch and Big Dick, who Big Dick, unfortunately, gets the worst at it, who shows his ass. And y'all, probably after the tell-all, she called Baba, her spiritual advisor, and said, "It worked out just exactly how we planned, Baba."
Exactly. Exactly. You know what happens, though? If they ever break up, she's going to be on a single life.
Oh, I already wrote it down.
I don't know if they'll break up, though.
Well, she said, I don't really take no for an answer.
But we'll see what he says, though. They still never brought up, though, that he thinks he's on 90 Day Fiancé. Anyway, that's the show, everybody. Leave us a review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to podcasts. We appreciate if they allow you to leave reviews. We appreciate it. We have a very special. It's probably aired by this time or airing tonight when you're listening to this, but we got some exclusive access to Debbie and what's going on with her love life after the fact.
Yeah, what she's doing now.
Yeah, and
what she's doing now. Tearing me apart, filling up my mind, and emptying my heart. I can hear it call every time the cold wind blows. I wonder if she knows what she's doing now. Fuck it, we have to end the show that way. I can't even do anything.
Bye.
Bye.